Why do we travel? Is it to see new things? Or to try new things? Is it to go back centuries? Or to be in the moment? Is it to take pictures? Or to take action? We travel to see the works of sculptors and painters and to imitate their techniques. We travel to meet bakers and chefs and to sauté in their kitchens. We travel to meet farmers, vintners, and brewers and to taste their divine secrets. We go out into the world to forge new paths and to discover old ones. We follow sweet aromas, alluring fragrances, and complex bouquets. We pedal and paddle, jog and climb, dabble and dance, and even march to the beat of our own drum. We journey to examine and explore, to listen and learn, and to engage and enjoy, with hands-on and hands-off. We travel to walk in the footsteps of all who have come before us, warriors and soldiers, emperors and kings, sailors and sirens, architects and builders, none of whom, by the way, were ever bystanders. So when we travel, why should we be? Engage, interact, indulge, only on Active Discovery Cruises, exclusively from Avalon Waterways.
Hello everyone, welcome to BHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights. I'm Sue Jankowski, and we are back with the travel show. We do the show once a month so you can dream big and then do it. That's the main thing. Think about it, learn about it, and then go ahead and plan your trip. And Kathy Janes, thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
She's from Class Act Travel, as you probably know already. And Kathy always brings a wonderful guest, and she did that today too, and that is Rose Schwartz. Welcome, Rose.
Thank you.
This is Rose's second time here. We're really glad because she comes to us from Midwest Business Development Manager for Globus. And if you haven't heard of Globus or Avalon, then you're going to hear a lot about it today because that's what she represents. And this, if you don't know, is a family of brands that is very, very nice. And I think you're going to enjoy a trip if you decide to take that and contact Kathy and then work on that trip. So I guess, Rose, first of all, what is the Globus brand all about, and how does Avalon fit into that?
Sure, great question. So for the audience who's watching today, we are Globus Family of Brands. Globus Family of Brands encompasses Globus, Cosmos, and Avalon Waterways. These are three different brands doing three different types of vacations. So from Globus, you have your more higher-end escorted touring, to Cosmos, which is more of your value touring, and then Avalon Waterways, which is your relaxed luxury river cruising throughout Europe and other destinations.
Gee, did you just get back by chance?
I did, just the other day. So this is only my second day on regular time now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not vacation time.
Not it wasn't vacation either.
I know, you
it
were
was
working.
definitely business. But
Yeah. So just, where were you and what were you doing? I just love to hear about it.
Well, the last time I was here, I had just started with Globus Family of Brands. So I was so nervous to be on this show and to be, explaining what we do and how you can find a vacation with us and, through Kathy. But since then, I've celebrated my 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
And I've been on 3 river cruises already.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is only June.
And this is only, 3 river cruises within the year.
Oh, okay.
So last June I started with the organization. It has been my year.
That's still a lot, honey.
It's I love it. I love it.
And where were those cruises?
So the first cruise was on the Danube from Passau in Germany to Budapest. and then I did Christmas time on the Rhine from Basel up to Amsterdam. And this last one that I just returned from was the Moselle. So we started in Remich, which is in Luxembourg, and made our way west to Frankfurt. So we were on not only on the Moselle, but we were on the Rhine for a little bit, and we were on the Main as well.
Oh my.
You know, that's got to really be, I know it was, I'm sure, wonderful to be on these cruises, but it really helps you as the person, you know, relating all this information to Kathy and other people to actually experience all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it helps because then you can tell people what it was like, what the cabin was like. We had this, we had that.
Right,
Yes.
Because
exactly.
you experienced it, and that means so much to tell people about
does.
what you experienced.
It does.
Absolutely.
I think it's the
Yeah.
greatest. That's the way to sell the product, to
Exactly,
be honest.
Yeah.
exactly.
I'm not unhappy with my job, I can tell you that. I quite like it.
That's important.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Okay, so if people have not experienced river cruising, would you like to, now that you've done it 3 times,
Sure, yeah.
explain what is river cruising as compared to, I think a lot of people think it's a cruise ship, and I'm going to be on this ship, and it's going to be, you know, casinos and floor shows,
Yeah,
but it's
nothing
not like that.
Not like that at all. So with Avalon Waterways, our ships that are currently on the rivers in Europe hold anywhere from 128 passengers to 166 passengers. Very small in comparison. What I love about river cruising, especially with Avalon Waterways, it's that relaxed luxury. You don't have to dress up. You know, you can wear your your
Whatever.
shorts and your
Yeah.
stretchies, you know, for the daytime and doing your touring, and then maybe just put on a nice little top or something, you know, in the evening for dinner. I love the fact that we have cabins that don't have a balcony. And the reason I say this is that we have these great, what we call open air balconies, 11 feet wide sliding glass doors that open up 7 feet wide, and you can take the most amazing selfies from this, you know, this view. Our beds don't face a wall like some of the other competitors out in the marketplace. You actually face that sliding glass door. So you can literally watch the world go by.
That is so important.
It is.
It's just
it's
the
amazing.
perfect way to go, that you can look out and stay in bed and just chill
Yeah.
and watch the world go by you.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
And I tell everybody, and I just did a presentation last night to a group of travel advisors, and we were talking about the ship and that. And I mean, I could go on about the bathroom too. It's crazy, but you know, we tilted one of the walls so that the shower is larger, and it's like fully appointed. It's marble throughout. There's the L'Occitane product in that, you know, you can wash your hair and shampoo and soap yourself and you know, lotion up yourself. You don't have to bring anything with you. And then, you know, we go to the foods, right? Ours are locally produced, sustainable. I say to everybody, if you want to have that meal that night, you better do it, because you're not going to see it again throughout the rest of the cruise. You want that dessert? Have 2 if you want, because you're not going to see it again.
Okay,
So
so
they-
nice variety
Yes,
of things.
yeah,
What about if you have a dietary special needs kind of thing?
Yeah, so that's the best too, because when you board, we take pictures of everybody. Okay, and that's just for security purposes, but it's also if you do have dietary restriction, or say it's your birthday or something coming up, your picture is posted in the kitchen, so that all the staff knows that you have a dietary restriction, or you know, whatever's going on with you. We also, before we sail, the chef actually meets with everybody who has those dietary restrictions to make sure that everything is going to be okay and no one's going to, you know.
That's good, because it seems like there's a lot of things, especially, you know, as people get older, there's a lot of issues with food that, you know, they don't want salt or
Sensitivity
gluten
and-
or whatever it
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
And it's nice that they accommodate that
Yeah.
so well.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Good.
Definitely.
So we're on the ship and
Yeah.
we're having our lovely meals, and what are we doing on the ship? Because this isn't like a regular big ship. This is different.
It isn't.
So-
It is definitely more relaxed. I love the river cruising because you're truly boarding and then unpacking once and repacking once. Your ship is your transportation between the cities and between these activities that you're going to be doing in the cities, in the ports. So on your free time, you're just relaxing, reading a book, you're out on the sky deck or the observation deck, and you're watching the world go by. If you're on the Rhine, you're seeing all those beautiful castles that are up on the hilltops.
That's the great part of it, because you're in the middle of the country. So you can see the country on both sides of the ship.
Yes.
Oh, look at this over here, and now look at that over here. So you learn so much more about where you're at because you're in the middle of it,
Absolutely.
not looking at it from out there.
And I know this is a really, quirky thing on my part, but in a giant cruise ship, there's all water everywhere you look. And on a river cruise, there's the bank. I can swim there.
You could if you needed to. You could if you needed to.
I know that doesn't happen, but it makes you feel
doesn't.
secure.
And it goes, relatively, we go very slowly when you look at it. If you look at the true distances between the ports,
It's not that
great of a distance. So if we're cruising at night, it's going pretty slow. It's going pretty slowly, But you were asking about the activity as
Yes.
well. So we have different types of cruises that offer just your classic type of activities, meaning when you get into port, you'll have a walking tour of the city. We do also on some of those have the capability to offer the gentle walkers tour. So if someone is not walking as quickly as others and maybe needs a little bit more time, we do offer gentle walkers tours
Oh,
as
that's
well.
wonderful.
And then we have, and what we're trying to incorporate more of into the regular itinerary, say like just a regular Rhine cruise itinerary, is we're trying to incorporate more of the active and discovery types of sightseeing. Now we do have special itineraries that are called active and discovery. So the one I just returned from was active and discovery on the Moselle. So not only did we have the classic sightseeing tours that were included, but if someone wanted to do a hike with our active host, or a biking tour, or yoga at 6 o'clock in the morning, or I'm more of the discovery type of a girl. So it was the wine tastings, it was the beer tastings, it was not in this especially, but we do have some others where you can do cooking classes or painting classes. So it's really bringing about more of just that experiential type of travel where it's not, and culture and history are great, but when you add more to that itinerary for that active person or that person who needs to, get in there and work with their hands or taste and smell, that country, this is what we're doing with this. And what's great about river cruising, especially Avalon Waterways, when you do look at the cost, these things are included. There are very little optionals that we offer at an additional cost. Everything else is included in the price.
So when you go, you have choices,
You have choices.
about what you want to do,
Yeah, absolutely.
and that's all taken care of. It's
Yes.
all, you can choose A or B, and it's part of your package.
Yeah, and you don't have to choose a specific track, meaning you don't have to do all the hiking and biking and never do anything else. You can mix it up.
Well, that's good, because maybe you want to hike over here, but you really want to make, taste
Spaghetti over
wine
there.
over there. Yeah, I mean, that makes it more fun
Exactly,
too.
yeah.
And with such a smaller group of people, do you find that people are interacting with each other more?
I think it's amazing. Okay, so the ship that I just came back from, or the cruise that I just came back from, we were there with a group of travel advisors. So we took about 35, including themselves and their companions, so a total of 35. And we were about a third of the ship. So the ship wasn't full, but our cruise director was amazing, because she said at the beginning, interact with everybody. Just, you never know where you're going to find those connections. You never know. And the weirdest thing, and I'm going to tell you, it's honest to God, I was talking to this group of travelers because I had been singing karaoke one night. Go figure. Yeah, I love doing
Great
that.
idea.
That's why I
Yeah.
don't have a voice right now. But they had been, just chatting with me. Where are you from? Where do you live? That kind of thing. We actually figured out that we've all lived in the same places. We've all lived in the same towns.
Really?
What gets weirder is we keep talking to one another, and at one point, the one woman says to me that one of the traveling companions is a retired priest. And come to find out in conversation, he was a priest from my grade school in Chicago.
Are you
Wow.
kidding?
I'm not kidding. I'm not
Oh
kidding.
my
It's small
goodness.
world. So the great thing about just being on one of our ships is the fact that you may be able to find ties like this. You know, if I were on a larger ship, I would have never
There's too
found
many
them.
people, yeah.
No one would, you know.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more anonymous, or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
exactly.
That's
Well,
cool.
that's
Yeah.
really nice.
That is really cool. Yep.
Okay, so say somebody wants to go to Europe in particular. Do you go to? I mean, it's a river cruise, so it has to be something available along some river. What countries would that be?
So we have all over Europe. Mainly, you're looking at Germany. You're looking at France. So you're looking at the Rhine, the Danube, the Moselle, the Main, the Seine, the Rhone, the Saône. You know, we're all over. And in 2024, we have now the Douro in Portugal. So
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So we've been
That's
doing a
interesting.
great job of really selling it through our travel advisor partners, and it's almost completely sold out for 24 already.
That's great.
wow.
Because that's a
Yeah.
whole new deal.
It's a whole new deal there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And that
cool.
opens up a big opportunity for people maybe who have been river cruising before who want to do something different
Sure,
or see a different
sure.
country.
Yeah.
So with these countries, is there any like add-on to these trips where we saw this and now we're done? And I know some cruises have something that you can add on to extend your trip.
Absolutely. So with any of the cruises, you can do a pre or post with us. So say the cruise is leaving out of Basel, maybe, you know, Kathy's clients, you, the audience, want to stay a couple of days before the cruise in Switzerland, you know, in Basel, for instance, or in Zurich. We can help you do that. Maybe you want to stay a couple of days later in Amsterdam, and that's where that ends, you know, that cruise. So we can certainly help. I would actually recommend that just the way that the air is this year, and just little snafus with the airlines themselves, I would go in a day early. I would absolutely go in a day
Absolutely.
early,
Yeah.
just to make
Absolutely.
sure. When I flew out just a little over a week ago, our flight was delayed by 6 hours.
Wow.
Had we not gone that day early,
You could have missed.
we could have missed the first day of our cruise. And you just don't want to do that. So why stress yourself out? Take that pre-day, take that post-day, relax afterward. So relax into your vacation, relax out of your vacation.
If you wanted to do that, would you go to Globus Avalon and say, I would like to arrive a day early, or would they help you with the airfare? Would they help you with the hotel?
Yes.
Absolutely. So what
Yes.
we would do is we would encourage you to work with your travel advisor, like Kathy, and just go to her, and she would come to us and just arrange everything to come in a day early, to stay a day later. Absolutely. And then there are other partners in the marketplace that if you wanted to go further yet, not just in these few cities that we offer for pre or post cruise, then you know Kathy could help with that. Or maybe you want to take a cruise and combine it with one of our Globus or Cosmos tours. So seeing the countries from the riverside and then seeing it from the land side. So that's absolutely a possibility as well. Why not? There are people who have booked two river cruises. So maybe doing the upper Danube and then also then doing the lower Danube.
Oh, yeah. While you're there, you might as well.
You
Why
can,
not?
Yeah.
If you've got
You
the time.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
That's
have the
part of it.
time?
Yes.
The money that you're spending right now on flying,
It's crazy.
it's easier to just stay a couple of extra weeks. if you
Yeah,
can.
right, because you're spending so much with
Yeah.
with that part of the travel.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go on the Rhine or the Danube or any of the other rivers that you mentioned, is there like one basic itinerary for like the Rhine that you go on? Or is there like 2 or 3 different ones?
There are so many. I can't even tell you the exact number. I think the last time that I looked at an itinerary just for Holland, you know, our river cruises in Holland, I think I came up with 160 something type of itineraries.
Oh my gosh.
Believe it or not, because we also have special interest river cruises. So we don't just have your classic, you know, romantic Rhine cruise, but we have the Christmas cruises. We have those specialty cruises. So
Yep,
the beer,
cooking,
the
the this,
wine,
yes,
the
yes.
the culture, the Jewish history, the you name it, and the Christmas time on all of these as well. So there are many different. I was actually comparing again this group of advisors that I met with last night. We had a classic Rhine River cruise itinerary, and we compared that to an Active and Discovery. So although it's the exact same river, there are different ports. So someone who has been on the Rhine already, on a regular kind of romantic Rhine cruise,
Do the other one.
maybe they want to go back and do the active one because we're stopping in different ports.
Oh, yeah. And if you really want to get all of that area, maybe that's particularly interesting to you, that you could keep doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's just different in different seasons as well.
It is, and it's, oh my goodness, if you can go during the holidays, it is just a totally different experience.
Yeah, that would be fun. A little chilly though, right?
A little, oh, sure,
Yeah,
a little chilly.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have to bundle up, but,
But
you
it's-
know.
Yeah. But it's also beautiful.
But you get to go to
Yeah.
the Christmas markets
Yeah.
and
Oh,
have
yeah.
that hot mulled wine.
Yeah, okay, I
love
love
that.
Wine, yeah.
Love that.
I only have water in here right now. So
One of the other things that they do so well is land things like Globus and Cosmos. Right now I have clients on a 23-day British Isles tour that left on Saturday. And they're, oh my gracious sakes, it starts in London, goes to Edinburgh, goes all the way through Scotland, then they go across to Ireland, do all of Ireland, and then come back to London.
Oh, wow.
And
That's
they
huge.
left, yeah, and
Yeah.
they were so accommodating. The tour company, Cosmos, my clients left, well, will be there, didn't do it, in Glasgow. They're going to fly from Glasgow to Belfast, and the tour doesn't do that. The tour takes them on a ferry, but they're flying because she is so much into the Game of Thrones that they have to do the area. They got to go see one of these places.
Oh,
And the only way to work it in was basically have them fly there, and they're going to handle their luggage for them because they don't want to take their luggage on something like this.
Right.
So they're helping out immensely.
oh, isn't that nice?
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
And I said,
That
so
is
that
great.
to me is important
That
that
is.
you can alter from what is set, and there's no issue.
There's accommodations made for your
Yes.
your desires.
Yeah.
And you know, I want to mention, so you mentioned luggage, that anytime you're on a cruise, it's nice to just unpack and then never have to do it again until you're
right.
You're right.
you're
Yeah.
done. I mean,
That's
that's
right.
kind of huge, you know,
Yeah.
that you can just float along and that's always your room. And
Absolutely.
It's kind of like you're home away from home and you feel good about that. That's great. So now, what is included? You're going to go on a cruise, whatever it is. Let's just stick with the Avalon for now.
Sure.
So, what would be included in this whole? I'm sure the tours you mentioned
okay,
were.
yes. So it's your transportation on the ship. It is your room on the ship. It is all of your meals, your breakfast, your lunch, your dinners, to high tea in the afternoon if you wanted it, to the snacks that we have in the club lounge that are available 24/7. Your cocktails. So during breakfast, you can have your champagne and mimosas if you want. During lunch, you have your local beers and local wines, same as during dinner. And I say that this is important, right? If someone is going to go over and wants to experience the true, authentic Europe, your local beers and your local wines, meaning European beers and wines, are served on our ships. That is not so much the case with maybe other cruise companies. We don't fly over the Coors Light, the Miller Lite, the California Reds and Whites. You're having the true, authentic European experience.
That's what you want to do. You're
Absolutely,
there, yes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
What we've added this year too, for sailings beginning in 23, we have added a whole hour of happy hour included
Oh.
in the cost. So there's no more having to pay even half price for those cocktails. It's the beer, it's the wine, it's the soft drinks. It is also the daily drink of the day. So whatever the drink of the day is, it changes from day to day. And also your standard cocktails. So if you wanted a gin and tonic, that would be included in that happy hour.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice too, because
Oh, that's great.
it's
Yeah.
kind of fun to get together with people and talk about your day
Yeah.
before you're having dinner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, you have all of your sightseeing, which we talked about before. You can do your classic walking tours if you're on an Active in Discovery or have those Active in Discovery types of activities. You can do those. Those are included. There are very few, again, that are optional that you would pay additional for. So, again, most all the sightseeing is included. You never really have to take out a credit card to have to pay
Extra.
anything extra once you're on board.
Say, for example, you get into a port and you think, well, I don't want to take any of these tours. I just want to go and do my own thing.
Absolutely.
That's no problem.
Go and do your own thing. The only thing that I would say is make sure that you're looking at the door and listening to the port talks the night before so that you know when to get back on the ship, because the ship sometimes does cruise during the day. So you want to make sure that you're back on board.
You don't want to be left behind.
Don't be left behind.
And they will go.
We will go.
They're not going to call you and ring out the cowbell. You,
No.
you just really have to be aware.
Exactly.
Okay. You go ahead.
I'm sorry, I have a question about
Yeah.
the tips on your chip. Are they done automatically also?
So what's great about Avalon is that you can prepay your gratuities, absolutely. So you don't have to worry about doing that
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
But I will say that our staff is great. So I'm sure you're going to find somebody that you truly love and you want to just leave them a little extra. Who are we to say no? You can
Okay.
you can totally do that.
Just wanted-
But you would be prepaying gratuities for Avalon Waterways. The Globus and Cosmos, you would not be
Yeah,
prepaying.
those I know
Yeah.
are on your own as such.
Exactly.
Right, okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
What would you recommend for someone who's never done a river cruise before? And there's so many now opportunities, and you just said there's like one after another. I mean, how should they get started? I mean, what would they
Yeah.
do?
So I think the first two, and I don't think Kathy would disagree with me, the first two rivers are really the Danube
Yeah.
and the Rhine.
Yeah.
That's where you need to begin. But again, I just came back from the Moselle, and the Moselle, you might not know these little ports immediately, but it's a smaller river. It's just quaint. You don't have all of the other ships, docking next to one another, because this is what happens on the larger rivers and the larger ports. We all dock next to each other, side by side.
And you walk through.
And
to
you walk
get-
through.
to get to the
To get to
yeah.
port,
Okay.
exactly. So the Moselle, if you're really looking for something a little bit more, even more quiet, even more relaxed, maybe you do want to start with the Moselle. Who are we to say?
Yeah.
Right, right. Well, you might have a specific interest in a particular part of a country, but if you don't, well, it all looks good. It's
Yeah.
kind of like, what do I choose?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to the special interest cruises as well. You like gardening, then, get yourself to the Holland cruises that we have, and make sure you're there for the Keukenhof when the tulips are in bloom
tulips, yeah.
and all of that. Make sure you're there. If you're into history, it's going to be hard for next year, but maybe you want to do the Paris to Normandy that we have.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that's pretty much all booked up.
Oh, it is,
due
because
to
it's so busy, the anniversary of
yeah,
all
due to
that.
the
Yeah,
anniversary,
right.
exactly. But if these are the things that interest you, we have the cruises for you. You don't have to start with the Rhine. You don't have to start with the Danube. Usually, though,
Those are the
It's
ones.
a
Those
good,
are the ones
it's a
you
good
see.
place to
Yeah.
jump
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
Yeah.
How far ahead should you plan a cruise like this?
oh, well, I mean, so the Normandy cruises that we have are sold out. You're looking, a year in advance for something like that. Like we're launching the Douro, but we've been selling that now this whole year. So that's sold out.
At least a year.
At least a year.
Okay.
To get what you want.
Yeah.
Not saying that you can't book later, but then you're not going to have the choices.
Yeah.
You can't be picky later,
Yeah.
where you can be picky within a year's time. You can be a little bit picky.
Okay,
I mean,
so
we're coming out of a very strange time
we
in
are.
our history.
Yes, we are. Yes, so true.
I don't want to keep rehashing it,
Yeah,
but everyone is traveling right now.
Yes.
Everyone. I have heard that, Italy, you are shoulder to shoulder with other travelers.
crowded.
It is crowded. So there's less and less space available. If you can plan a little bit earlier, it's
You're
the way to
better
go.
off.
It's,
Yeah,
you're better
absolutely.
off.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So plan well ahead, especially if you know where you want to go. You really want to do that, and you can call Kathy for that. She can guide you. And if you are unsure about what kind of river cruise to do, Kathy can help you with
Yes,
that, because
absolutely.
she's got experience and
Yeah.
she's got
And
someone
I
to
have
call.
somebody here that helps.
That's
Right there, yes.
It's so true. So you can go anywhere, and I think you have to do your homework, because I think if you're someone who's gone on these big cruise ships and then you're going to do this, you have to be aware that there are differences in those,
Yeah.
and those are actually, it sounds like wonderful differences.
They really are
Yeah.
wonderful differences. Again.
And so you want to do your homework and find that out, and Kathy will help you with that.
Yes.
And as you see, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's all kinds of books and things that Kathy can show you when you are there, so you can get a full picture
Oh, yeah.
of that.
They do great with Globus. As you said, this is more the higher end one. Cosmos is the little less
Value
expensive.
touring.
Yeah. And it just,
But if someone's on a budget with Cosmos, you can still go to Africa.
oh, yeah.
You could still
oh,
go
yeah.
to Australia.
Well,
so
my
we
people-
have,
23 days now in the British Isles, and they're getting meals and whatnot, and tours. I mean, that's
They've got it all. Yeah.
Yeah. We have 6 continents, 67 countries, 512 different vacation options. What I say is, if you cannot find a vacation with Globus, Cosmos, and Avalon Waterways, you're not looking hard enough.
Well, you want to go on vacation.
right?
yeah.
Well, thank you
yeah.
so much, Rose, for
Thank
bringing us this
you.
great information.
Yeah, thanks.
Kathy, thank you for coming in.
Thank you again.
Remind our viewers of where you are located.
All right, I'm in Worth, Illinois, at 111th and Worth Avenue. It's 6946 West 111th Street. We are in the office Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We'll stay late if you need it. We'll come in Saturday if you need it. We're there to help you out. The number is 708-448-6560. Come on down and say hi. I'm there all the time. Thank you.
That sounds good. I hope that you've been inspired by the possibilities that are pretty much endless. And if you've taken a river cruise before, you're going to want to sign up for another one, because you probably really enjoyed it. And think about Globus and Avalon and Cosmos as your go-to place. Thanks for watching us. We'll see you next month with another exciting adventure for you to think about. Bye-bye.